Let me just see. Yes, let me just give you one second, guys. If I have some snip screenshots to share with you guys. And right now. So again, for the NTFS, because we were discussing about the NTFS, and NTFS is something really kind of dealing with a lot of times. So there are few things which NTFS supports, and I will kind of quickly let me just take a picture of that and kind of showcase to you guys. Give me 1 second. Um, okay, so these are the kind of like a core features of NTFS that we should kind of know at a very high level. Okay, so for an example, let's say journaling. Okay, that you are seeing over here, the journaling field, the journaling field. So what it does is that it actually keeps a track of log files. So it actually keeps a track of log files, and let's say you are making any changes on a specific file. Let's say there's a file f1.txt or af1.txt, and let's say you are writing certain thing on that. Okay, let's say you are writing certain thing on that, for an example, and let's say you want to uh, you press Control Z and Control Y, for an example. Okay, so in that case, uh, so it will actually, the NTFS file will actually track all those kind of changes, like what all changes you have made in the file. So it will keep track of all those changes that has been done on a specific file. So that's one of the feature of journaling. Okay, at a very high level. So it keep track changes of the let's say the file content as well as the metadata change of any of the file. So that's one thing. Now the thing is that so that's what journaling and change tracking would be. Basically it keeps track of like what all files data is being changed. Then there are certain things which also it supports, which are hard links and soft links. And soft links are basically let's say hard link is when a single file responds to multiple file names, and the soft link is where a second file is created but does not have any data. So what I mean is that, let's say I create a shortcut of a file. Let's say I have a file called f1.txt, and I create a shortcut of that. I assume you guys already know how to create a shortcut. Right? So thing is that that new shortcut will not contain any kind of data. Will not contain any kind. It will just point. It will just have a pointer to the original file. So if you click on the shortcut, it will just open the original file for you. The data, it it internally it will not hold any kind of data of f1.txt. It will just be a pointer to f1.txt. So that's what a soft link is. Okay, that's what NTFS support, and that's why we are able to create a shortcut in the Windows operating system, because NTFS supports that. Okay, in similar manner, hard links are something where what happened is that when a single file, there will be single file, but single file, but it will have multiple names. So let's say there's single file. What we can do is that using the hard links, we can, let's say we can name it. We have different files like A, B, C. So all these three files will point to one single file. Okay, so there's little bit difference between hard link and soft link, and we can kind of let me just quickly grab a good definition of hard links. Okay, if I have some example, if I can say, I think, okay, maybe what I will do is that later I will try to kind of do some practicals if I have time, like how the hard links you can create. And so basically overall it's that, okay, there are different files and all these files. So if one single file data will have more than one file name. Okay. So that's what basically hard links is all about. Okay. So NTFS basically support hard links, soft links. It also keeps a track of changes that are happening on the files. Okay, so that's all about kind of like few of the features. And then the other things what it also does is that it has something called as, it also supports volume shadow copies that we have already seen earlier. And it also supports encryptions. It also supports volume shadow copies. ADS is something we'll be kind of looking at. We have already seen that in action. Like when I went to that desktop folder, let me just quickly see that. Uh, the one that we saw, the zone identifier data, if you remember, zone identifier 3 and all that we were seeing previously, that information is actually coming out from the alternative data stream, and that's alternative data stream is something ADS. Okay, it's actually something which is like hidden inside the file. So we'll look at that going forward in much more detail. But overall, I just wanted to give an idea that okay, NTFS support multiple features. Other thing is that you can also compress the file content. You can also kind of mount the file at different volume, at different D drive, C drive, something like that. And it also has like access control list, which is very, very important. Like you can specify ACL. So let's say for an example, if I go to C drive and let's say there is, if I go to C drive, and you see dir, if I do dir/a, you see that there are certain files like recycle bin and or let's say the $mft. So those files are, as you already seen, those files are kind of log files. You can't kind of copy that file or write to that file easily. So how those things are getting into picture is via this feature, access control list. Access control list is one of the feature of NTFS by which we can kind of, let's say to the file, like if that file can be deleted, if that file can be overwritten, if that file can be read. So we can have a control of like what all things can be done on that file, like if it can be read, if it can be written to. So those all features are supported by the ACL. Okay, so I hope you guys got an idea. Like there are almost like let's say 12 different kind of features of NTFS. Okay, now let me quickly, like I'm just trying to complete the theory as quickly as possible, guys, and just kind of giving a quick introduction about what all features are of NTFS. And now what I will do is that I will quickly now start with the NFT file thing. Okay, the NFT file is something that we are seeing from a lot of time. What we are seeing over here, the NFT file. So we need to kind of understand what this NFT file is. Okay, so let me just quickly grab my notes and I will kind of quickly start with the NFT file system analysis. Okay, so what is NFT? NFT is nothing but it's kind of a database. So that the thing that you are seeing over here, it's actually a database and it is very, very structured. Okay, records, I mean, let's say the records that I'm about to tell you, let's say for an example, this record, the file 0 record, like one record start with file 0. Okay, and then there will be another record over here, over here, and let's say 3. So what happened is that each record is of 1024 bytes long. So that's another thing to kind of know about. And every file or folder that is present in this drive will have an entry in the